didn't know that I wish I knew, so I wanted to share with you guys my top 5 tips and tricks to get started with macrame that will hopefully help make your lives easier in your macrame making journey. If you stick around to the end, there is a bonus tip that you don't want to miss out. So before we begin, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Nicole, and my channel is Bochiknot and Bochiknot.com. In this channel, you will find everything you need to know to begin macrame, whether you are looking to do it as a hobby or you want to get to a more advanced level so that you can create your own designs. You can find everything macrame right here.
With that said, let's begin. So tip number 1, you'll need some supplies and a good setup to begin macrame. The first supplies you'll need are a pair of scissors and measuring tape to measure and cut the cord. I like to use fabric scissors because it cuts through cord more easily. Any pair of craft scissors will do the job. So of course the most important supply you'll need is some cord. You can use whatever type of cord you want for macrame. There are many different kinds out there like jute and hemp cords and various wax cords. I have only ever used cotton cord for my pieces because I find it's easy to use and I love the look of it and the way they feel. There's also various colors and sizes, so choosing the type of cord would vary depending on what you're making. I find using 4mm single-strand cord to be the best size and type of cord to start off with. If you wanted to get started with macrame right away, you'll need a good setup to work from. If you're making a wall hanging, you can tie the ends of a cord onto a dowel and tape the cord down onto a stable surface, such as on a kitchen or dining room table. You can do the same thing if you're making a plant hanger, keychain, or jewelry. You can also tape those things down and work from the stable surface. My tip number 2 for you guys is to make sure you learn the basic and fundamental knots very well. If you really want to progress quickly, start off slow and steady. In my opinion, the 3 essential macrame knots are the lark's head knot, the square knot, and the double half hitch knot. To make the lark's head knot, you take a strand of cord, fold it in half, and take the loop side to the back of the dowel and put the ends through the loop and pull to tighten. You will usually fill up the dowel across horizontally with cords using the lark's head knot to begin a macrame wall hanging piece. To make a square knot, you'll need 4 strands of cord, so I will add another cord onto the dowel using a lark's head knot, which will give us 4 strands of cord. To make a square knot, the outer cords are your working cords, and you will take the outer cords and weave it in between the anchor cords like so. And then once you're done tying the knot, pull the cords to tighten, and that is 1 square knot. To make a double half hitch knot, you'll need an anchor cord and several working cords. And this is 1 double half hitch knot. You can continue the pattern horizontally or vertically. You can do the double half hitch knots in many different ways. Here I'm going to finish the row of horizontal double half hitches. So my tip number 3 for you guys is to accept the fact that you will be doing a lot of unknotting throughout your macrame process. As soon as you accept that fact, that you will be making mistakes and the patterns won't turn out exactly the way you want sometimes, the least amount of time you'll be spending getting frustrated with unknotting. A trick to help you unknot faster is if you use a lot of double half hitches in your patterns. An easy way to unknot them instead of unknotting them one by one is to just pull the anchor cord out instead. This will save you a ton of time unknotting them one by one. And this is also why I like using double half hitch knots in my pieces, because it's easier to experiment with. The fourth tip is to measure twice but cut once, which means ensure to double check the amount of rope that you'll need for each project, and make sure you'll always add a bit more length to the cord before cutting it to avoid running out. One of the worst feelings in making a macrame piece is running out of rope when you're almost done. And that is also one of the biggest challenges when you're ready to start making your own designs, and knowing how much rope you need to measure and cut. I know rope is expensive, and so you want to conserve as much as possible. Therefore, I want to give you some advice on what I do to measure cord. Depending on the size of your piece, I would say to measure the length of it, multiply by 4. But then you fold that cord in half, so you'll have to double it. So you'll have to multiply it by 2. It is always a safe bet to have more cord than less. Tip number 5 is to save your scraps. Don't throw them away. If you've cut too much rope in your project and you have a lot of leftover, that is okay. Like I said before, rope is pretty expensive, so you want to savor it as much as possible. You can make many things with your scraps, such as tassels, jewelry, or even adding some texture to a wall hanging piece by making a lark's head knot. So for those of you who are looking to get started in macrame but don't know where to get the necessary supplies or what to get, I put together a Bochiknot Macrame Starter Kit. In this kit you'll be making this unique but easy design that I have created as one of your first pieces to make. I would say that this design is at a beginner to intermediate skill level and will take approximately 2 to 3 hours depending on how much practice you've had with macrame already. So let's open the kit up and see what's included inside. You'll get a wooden dowel for the wall hanging piece. It's a 12-inch wooden dowel. And you'll also get some high quality cotton cord. This is my favorite 4mm single-strand cotton cord. It is very soft and easy to work with. I provided more than enough cord to make this full design with some left over. You'll also get an S-hook to hang up your piece while working on it. You can do so by cutting a piece of cord, attaching it onto the wooden dowel at both ends like I showed you previously, and then hang it onto the hook where you will place onto a rack of some sort. You'll also get a small wall hook to hang up your finished piece on the wall. You can also use a picture frame nail if you have one at home instead. Last but not least, you'll get a card with the instructions on how to download your step-by-step pattern ebook, as well as a link to access the video tutorial.
My last bonus tip for you guys is to make sure you have a positive mindset and enjoy the moment while making macrame. There will be times when you guys will be discouraged from moving forward, such as unknotting and knotting again because of mistakes, or running out of rope halfway through a project, or even having the design not turn out the way you wanted to in the first place. But that's okay, because that's all a part of the learning process. And the more you practice, the more you'll see your skill set and your macrame evolve. It is more important to focus more on the process itself rather than the end result. Creating macrame is all about enjoying the moment while making beautiful art at the same time. And that is what I call macrame therapy. If you guys enjoyed today's video, make sure you let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.